No ifs, ands, or buts. That means don't live with your girlfriend or boyfriend before you're married, because if you do, you're going to wind up having sex. It is inevitable. There is too much of pressure, too much temptation not to. If you are on a diet and you have a cookie jar in front of you, you're going to eat that cookie. I don't care who you are. There's nothing that's going to say don't eat it. You got to get those cookies and you got to put them away, give it to a friend so it's far away from you. Okay, that's why it's in the Bible. It's I can't quote it verbatim, so apologize for that. But it basically does say about sin, about temptation, about things that we're not supposed to do. Run, flee from it, run away from it. There's no shame in running away from something that's going to tempt you to do something wrong. Get away from that situation. If you're not there, it's not going to tempt you. If you're not around it, it's not going to grab you and say, yeah, do me. Get this is going to be fun, this is going to be interesting. If somebody offers, it's like the classic, the drug wars. Just say no. Well, I would go further. Don't just say no. Run away from the person. Get the heck out of there. Just get out of that situation. Move away from that area. As a society, we have to not only address the consequence of the sin, we have to address the sin itself. What is causing the birth to take place? What is causing it is somebody had sex. They shouldn't have done that. That's a sin. It's going to lead to a consequence, which is going to lead to a further consequence of them considering to terminate a human life because it's convenient for them. Now, what about the situation of they get raped? That is a horrible thing. Horrible, horrible crime. What causes people to do that? Well, guess what? Again, society doesn't give people enough ability to succeed and have stable lives. There isn't mental health coverage. Therapists and psychologists. What if everybody was assigned a therapist? Everybody. I don't know if there'd be enough to go around, but man, imagine the amount of jobs that would create. If everybody had the chance to go to a therapist, and what if on a monthly basis, like going to a doctor for a physical at least once a year? What if going to a doctor once a year was mandatory? What if going to a dentist once a year was mandatory? And what if going to a therapist once a year was mandatory? People would say, oh, you're taking away our free rights. No, we're not. Mental health, depression, is a huge, huge epidemic. Physical health, obesity, and other issues are huge epidemics. And so why not? And dental health, I'm sure, is declining too. I know from my own experience, I don't take care of my teeth like I should. Not because I don't want to or don't know how to, but there's really nothing to compel me to do it. If there was something in place where, like, I knew in a year that it was coming up where I had to see the dentist, maybe I would take better care of my teeth because I don't want the dentist to harass me. What if there was some reward in it for me of keeping my health up and keeping my dental and my mental health up, where I could see a therapist for free if I needed to. I could see a doctor for free if I felt something might be wrong. So we didn't have sick care, but we really did have health care to promote physical health, mental health, all health across the board. Why not? Why not have a society that supports people that are wanting to be mentally well, wanting to be physically well, wanting to be well and spiritually well? Why not? Why not include that as an equation? Hey, we have a pastor that you can talk to, that a chaplain. A chaplain is basically the military equivalent of a pastor, but they know about every single religion there is, at least to some extent. So why not have a chaplain that you could go to pray with or to comfort you in that sense? Why not have that available to everybody that wants it or needs it? And even if not, that at least once a year, at the very least, that they would be required to go talk to them. Obviously, if somebody didn't believe anything on the faith issue and they talked to a chaplain, they could just say, well, I don't believe in anything in particular. Okay, great. Do you have anything you want to talk about? No? Okay, well, see you next year. And then they could go to the doctor. Are you feeling okay? Well, let's do some checkups, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you're fine. See you next year. Dentist, psychologist, same thing. Now, if we had that in place, do you think somebody would go and rape somebody? The percentage, I bet you, the percentage would be really, really low. Because instead of having that mental set that would make somebody do something horrible, they would have had somebody to talk to about their feelings. And it might prevent it. Let's look at preventative measures so that situation never comes to pass. Okay, worst case scenario, it did. Should that person be allowed to have an abortion because they don't want that life? They don't want the constant reminder of that this is a life generated by this horrific event? That's a psychological issue that I think would go to the psychologist. And again, if we had that sort of society I was talking about where that system would be in place to allow the psychologist to talk to them and so on and so forth, that, And I think that in that case, the person that caused it, the person that inflicted that damage on them, would be financially responsible for the rest of their life to that kid. They would be given a job that they would have to do the rest of their life, and if not, then we would exile them. We would kick them out of the country, and they'd have to be on their own. They wouldn't have the systems to support them anymore. I think exile actually is a better punishment than the death penalty. Kick them out, let somebody else deal with them. Why not? They'd be on their own. They couldn't come here. They couldn't live here anymore. That, I think, would be a huge punishment. In fact, I think it's a biblical punishment because Adam and Eve did a sin and they were kicked out of the Garden of Eden. So, why don't we we base a lot of things on the Bible already as a society. Why don't we look to that for further inspiration on how we should do morals? Obviously, not everybody believes in the Bible or agrees with certain points of it. So we need to come together as a people and say what things are important to us and what can we put in place to ensure these morals are carried out. And people would be like, well, you're sacrificing we're giving up our freedom. Yes. With morals, like I said in the very start, when you have morals, you oftentimes give up the ability to do something. Even though doing the wrong thing might be easier, doing the right thing is sometimes hard, difficult, or almost impossible, and you won't be able to do that thing. If NumberNile and I had not figured out any other way for us to do this combo here, we wouldn't have this video together. But we figured out a solution that worked for us, and we stuck to the moral code that we found ourselves in. He didn't get in trouble with his dad because he never did something that his dad didn't want him to do. That is morals. Sometimes morals force you to make hard decisions, but I think they're grown-up decisions, and I think they make you a better person so that on your deathbed, you can say, I did the right thing. I was a moral person, and I was better off for it. It wasn't easy, but I did it. And that's what morals are about. As a society, can we do this? Can we make morals part of our fabric of society again? Yes. Is it going to mean giving up personal freedoms? Yes. Would I give those up? In a heartbeat, to have a wonderful society where we're all moral, I would gladly give up certain freedoms in order to do that. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and peace out.